Yo, what's good? This is Logic, hip-hop artist from Maryland. You're watching Dead End Hip Hop.
You was right on the stage with me. You couldn't talk in the camera. Oh, man.
Dead End Hip Hop Conversations. Dead End Hip Hop Conversations. We're here with Night Wonder. What's good, homie? Peace to the A. Dead End Hip Hop.
Constructive criticism, like on some real shit. And you guys have helped me so much because I remember when I saw the review on Undeniable, right? Nobody was hating, but some people were like you, who? I might have been you. I don't know. Sorry.
It's the setup. Like, am I finna get jumped?
Nah, man. No, but I remember you saying how, you know, some of the commercial shit you just kind of wasn't fucking with, and then, or was it the? So I know somebody that wasn't fucking with the commercial shit, and then, but it wasn't that you weren't fucking with it sonically. You were somebody was just like, that's just not my flavor. You know what I'm saying? And then another person was like, it's all good. And then another person was like, they like the more raw shit. And when you guys said that, it like really let me. Because I always, you know me, and you know now, like you hear it, and it's like I want to do the raw shit, and I want to do the commercial shit. I mean, No ID I signed to No ID because he was like, you can do raw shit, and you can do commercial shit, and it doesn't sound like you're reaching. And the reason it doesn't sound like I'm reaching is because of you motherfuckers. It's saying like, I remember Undeniable, you were like, yeah, I mean, he's just got so much of this, and so much of that, and so much of this, and he's rapping on super like old drum break beats, and then he's rapping on super commercial beats. You're like, and one word you motherfucker said, y'all was like, it's not cohesive.
That's what I was about to say. It was never a matter of we don't like your shit. It was just a matter of the album didn't sound cohesive. I'm glad you picked up on that.
No, I did, and that's why like on Welcome to Forever, there's only 6 producers. There's Seasick, there's my boy Arthur MacArthur, there's the legend No ID, there's Swifty, and there's who else? Who am I forgetting? I'm forgetting, I'm sorry, don't kill me, and please be on my album. Anyway, but what I'm saying is I only use these guys. And everybody, Kevin Randolph, that's who it is. Kevin Randolph plays keys for everybody. He used to play for Kanye, he plays for No ID, he plays for everybody. And I was blessed enough to meet this guy through No ID, and all the pianos you hear, all the strings, all like the really crazy shit that sounds album like some shit, is him. So this guy allowed me to have a cohesive sound throughout the whole project. Because now it's like I'm rapping on raw shit, but it's got modern like drums. You know what I'm saying? It's like a modern, like it's old school breaks, but the drums are more modern. All this, and I don't know if y'all agree, but I know that's how I feel. But like, it's because a large piece of that is because of y'all, and I just want to thank you so much for what you've done. Y'all have helped me very much, so thank you all.
Real talk, like, that's really dope, man.
But I'll shut the fuck up now, and y'all.
Yeah. Alright, so, you know, Dead End Hip Hop, got the homie Logic on the show, my nigga. We got the homie Logic on the show, man. So, man, this shit's dope as fuck. Hey, you know you have people passing out at your shows? There's like 2 or 3 people we saw pass. Like
It was carried to the bathroom. It was literally carried to the bathroom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
My fans are kind of crazy. They're hella crazy.
You got like Russian Michael Jackson style. Like for real.
Justin Bieber, please believe. Oh yeah.
Man, so how's it working on the album right now?
It's at the very, very, very infancy of actually working on it. But in my head, it's been done since I was like 14. You know what I'm saying? Like I know what I want. I know who I want to be on it. I know the producers that I want to work with. And it's going to be very Kendrick Lamar-ish-esque in the way that it's created. Whereas the reason Kendrick Lamar's album is amazing is because he kept the same core of producers that he worked with, you know, like THC and Terrace Martin and all these people. It just elevated. You know, everybody was like, oh shit, Kendrick's working on his album, so we got to step our shit up just like Kendrick's, and everybody just, they move together as a unit, you know? And that's very much so what I'm doing with my sound. So my sound isn't going to change. I mean, it'll change, but it'll improve in a positive manner, of course. But I'm not sitting here now, I got $1 million, I'm going to go, oh, let me get a beat from this super hot producer and that super, no. You know, I might work with one or two super dope producers that I've always wanted to work with, but it's still my family. It's still a circle, you know. So.
Is it a certain amount of tracks that you got No ID working on? Is because he's an executive producer? Is he going to produce like majority of the album, or is it kind of?
I think so, man. Yeah, because we've had conversations about it, and the way that me and No ID work is real crazy, you know. And things are just really starting to get the wheels turning because he's been working with Big Sean and Janae Aiko and Elijah Blake on their albums, and then he's got, you know, working with Nas and then Common and then all these other people knocking on his doors. So we're finally actually really starting to get the wheels turning now, and. Yeah, so he's gonna be on a large majority of it, man. And the way he works like a monster. Like we be having like little competitions and shit. Like I'll be like, I bet you can't make, you know, because he's like, yeah, I'm gonna make 5 beats today. And I'll be like, I bet you can't make 5 beats every day till I leave for tour. And he's like, I bet I can. And he does it. And it's crazy. So
you just hear him right there.
I just hear, yeah, man. He'll like send me his favorite, and then I'll write to it or get ideas, and it's just, I mean, it's kind of a blessing to be able to work with this fucking legend, man. Like, it's weird.
Definitely.
It's really weird. And I think also on top of, not to jump into this because I know you guys are probably going to want to talk about this, not to jump into the whole XXL thing and the Def Jam thing, but, you know, when I was on that cover, a lot of people was like, who the fuck is Logic? Like, who is this? Who is this? Not even a negative way or like they were hating. They were just like, who the fuck is Logic? Yeah, and I think, you know, those freestyles, and I think, you know, the music and the videos that I put out, and then the Def Jam announcement and that No ID cosign, if you want to call it that, really let people go, oh shit, he must actually, you know, he's not some fucking white rapper, da-da-da. So it's an honor to have him be a part of that. And yeah, it's crazy.
So overall, how has that response been since being on the XXL cover and having like I would imagine, a surge of new fans coming to you because of that look from XXL, and people not knowing who you are but knowing who you are now? Like, how's that response been? What's that like?
It's been very incredible. And I can say, you know, shout out to Vanessa Staten at XXL, because that cover completely changed my life. And it really did, because I've done this before. I've been on tour. I've sold out tours. I've been, you know, overseas to Europe and sold out that on my own with just Visionary. But being on that cover is not only just an honor, but it is an incredible, like, feat. You can't just get on it. Like, it's not like that, you know. So to be selected was incredible. And I think when I really dropped this mixtape, this album for real, like, they heard it and they listened to everything. They knew I could rap. They knew I could make party music. They knew my story, you know. Because on this album, Welcome to Forever, I talk about a lot of things that I've never really gone super deep into. Because people look at me, they probably like, I see shit on Twitter all the time, whatever. They be like, you fucking rich white motherfucker, like, you never had it hard, you never this, like, what? I'm like, whatever. You know, I mean, I just keep it positive. But fucking damn right, man, I grew up around some real fucked up shit. And once I realized how much power I have in the light, I realized that it was time to really give y'all my story. So before this, I talked about it a little bit, you know, but never like this.
What made you come up with the title, Welcome to the Forever?
Oh,
like, what inspired you to come up with that?
Incredible question. So I went through a couple, yo, you know you're famous for that laugh behind the camera, right? Everybody hears that. Everybody be hearing that chuckle, man. That's great. But nah, I went through I was going through a couple different ideas of titles, and they were dope. Sonically, they were dope titles. But I was like, but do they fit me? You know, like, as great as they are. Like, one of them I was thinking of, well, I'm not gonna say that because there's a chance I might use it. But another one was, for example, 10,000 hours. And the reason I wanted to call it that is because 10,000 hours is the time that it takes to master your craft. And I believe that no craft is ever perfected. It's never perfect, and that's why we always continue to try to do it, no matter what we do, from interviews to rapping to writing to, you know, making movies. Like, it's never perfect, but you can master it. So that was an idea. And then I was texting a homie of mine. His name is Sheck, and he runs this clothing brand called Swaver. So I wear their shit a lot, and he's just a good friend of mine. And I remember we were talking about something, and it was like it was a couple months ago, it was last year, and he was like, something, welcome to forever. And I was just like, man, because he was just saying it like, welcome to forever, like, you're here. Yeah. But the way I took it was something so much deeper. And when I applied it to music, I was like, damn, like, welcome to forever. Like, after this mixtape comes out, after this album comes out, like, you know, this mixtape, Welcome to Forever, I will forever be a part of hip hop, and I wasn't before. Like the XXL freshman shit and the Def Jam shit, and then releasing this solidified me. I'm in hip hop now. I'm in hip hop. I'm in the discussion, and that shit makes me happy. I'm not too cool for school. Like, yeah, what? No, fuck that. I've worked 9 years to be here, and I knew that once this was out, it was gonna be out forever, and that it was gonna put me at a place in my career that I know I'm gonna make amazing music, and you know, with the help of others, of course. And in 100 years from now, and 200 years from now, if motherfuckers are still here and haven't blown themselves up, they'll be able to search Logic, and they'll be able to find me forever.
But why do you feel like you were not a part of hip hop prior to this project?
Because I wasn't, you know, because, I mean, in the sense, was I a part of hip hop? Of course, I was rapping on beats. You know, I had a fan base. I could tour the world. You know, there's a lot of signed artists, major artists that cannot tour the world, that can't even tour the country and do House of Blues tours like we're doing right now. I'm so blessed and fortunate to be able to do that. But I wasn't in the, you know, there was a lot of, and there still is, don't get me wrong, this like really, this is now just the beginning, because now that I'm like, just getting into hip hop, like opening the door, where motherfuckers know who I am and they know my name. There's a lot of people that know my name that did not know my name before. And that's what I mean. Like there's tastemakers, there's blogs, there's other rappers. Like I just got tweeted by Kid Cudi, man. Like shout out to Kid Cudi. Like he hit me up, I think it was last night, and was like, yeah, and was like, yo, I just heard the come up, like thank you for sampling my vocals, like I fuck with you, man. And when he said that, I'm like, dude, this is one of my most favorite, you know, musicians, and he fucks with me. He ain't know who I was a couple days ago, but he knows who I am now. You know, like think about this. Kanye knows who I am now. Jay knows who I am now because they saw my face on that cover. Everybody in the world in hip hop saw me. And that's what I mean by now I'm a part of hip hop. You know who I am now. You know what I'm saying?
So one thing I caught on your latest release, you said you're the dude with lyrics, but you're also the dude that can rock the party. You said that, right? Yeah. Explain that. Like, is that something that you're actually actively going for? Like, are you trying to be that dude that can like come into a party, have everybody throw their hands up, but you're still spitting some real shit?
Yeah.
And you're gonna stick to that? Like that's your game plan?
Yeah, that is what it is, man. Because at the end of the day, I know what everybody loves from me, and what they love from me is rapping on boom bap shit, and I'm killing it, and it's lyrical, and I'm doing this, and I'm fucking rare. You know what I'm saying? I get that. But there's a lot of people out there that love it when I make shit that they can party to, and they can throw their hands up and they can have a good time. Especially because I don't jeopardize who I am as an artist.
So there's one other thing that I did notice that you brought up quite a bit, and that was race.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, and I have to admit, and this is absolutely no disrespect whatsoever.
Yeah.
If you watched our first review of your first release, I said that I thought you were a white rapper, and of course I didn't say that derogatory. I didn't say, oh, he's just a white rapper. I had said, well, yo, say again?
A rapper who's white.
A rapper who's white. Yeah. So I'm like, why y'all jump on about what he's talking about? Let him be a white rapper.
Yeah.
So why is it now that you feel like you need to actually speak about that and rep that you are not actually white?
I am fucking proud to be who I am. Are you proud to be black, man? You know what I'm saying? You're proud to be black, man, and I'm proud to be mixed. I'm proud to be white and black. And another thing is like, race is a big deal, but to me, I don't give a shit if you're purple. Shout out to Barney. Like, I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter. It don't matter what you are, man. I don't see that shit. And if you can rap at the end of the day. And I just, honestly, I was talking to No ID about this, and he was like, yo, I think it's kind of genius that you said that you really hit it. Because it's like, he was like, you didn't beat it into the ground, but you said it on like 4 records, and then you have the skit about it. And I told him, I was like, I know. And he was like, after I explained why I did it, he was like, I know that's why you did it. I did it so I don't really ever have to talk about it again. I might bring it up once, maybe twice, just being proud on the album. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm proud to be who I am, and I don't want motherfuckers just look, because I don't care. There's a lot of people in hip hop like, oh, he's white, oh, he's whack. Mm-hmm. Like, I swear to God, dog, I've had people on Twitter, right, be like, yeah, you know, he's tight, and he can rap, and he's got flow, and his songs as a whole are, yeah, but he's white, though. Like, what the fuck? What? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I just think that's 100% bullshit, but it's like, I'm not white. I'm black and white. I'm the only person who looks like this in my family. My father is black. My mother is white. All my brothers and sisters look black. They have black, features, and I'm proud of that. That's where I grew up, and that's who I grew up around. So you're goddamn right, I'm gonna rep it, and I'm gonna let people know, because I'm happy and I'm proud to be who I am. And I know that I've experienced racism from being my white side, you know, over here, and I've experienced racism from being black as well. And I know that there's a whole fucking legion of us half-breeds out there that everybody just seems to forget about. And I'm gonna rep it for them and everybody as a people as a whole. So that's
real talk. Like the first time I heard you, man, I was like, yo, this nigga's gonna change the game. In my opinion, because I know everybody watches the show. I always say hip hop needs balance. I always say that shit because it's the truest thing. And I'm gonna be for real. If I can't rap, trust me, you inspire me. Sometimes I be listening. I'm like, man, you know I could kill this shit too. Hell no, I can't. Hell no, I'm no rapper. I'm no rapper. But if I could rap, I would be like you. I would be like, yo, I want to do this commercial shit because. Like my saying is, bumping the whip. I love that type of music. You know what I'm saying? Like one of my favorite tracks on Welcome to Forever is 5 a.m. I heard that shit. I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it, and he did it. And then you did Roll Call, and I'm like, yo, this guy is the shit. Is the shit. Like he's really the epitome of what, you know, underground and commercial is. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Def Jam got a couple of y'all. So. Who are you looking forward to collab with in terms of like features and stuff like that? Like who do you really want to work with? Like, yo, I listen to this person and you're dope and I want to work with you.
There's so many. There's like a million motherfuckers that I want to work with. Like it goes on and on from the underground to the mainstream. I want to do a record with Drake and just be like, yeah, I can do this too, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. I want to work with Kendrick Lamar. You know, I want to work with Cole. Cole's the homie too. He's a great dude, you know. And when I met him, and that's a lot of like, you know, a lot of people. And I think this is a great place to say this. A lot of people, they hear me and they're like, "You sound like J. Cole, or you sound like Drake, or you sound like Nas, or you sound like Big L." And it's like, man, I'll tell you this. When I met Cole, I played him Dead Presidents 3, and he was in the studio. He randomly just walked in my studio. It was really cool. He came in with his homie Ibrahim. Shout out to the whole, you know, Greenville homies, and we just had a great conversation, and he was telling me how he had Dead Presidents 1, and then, you know, I was like, I know this. Right. You know, he's like, yeah, you know, he did Dead Presidents 2, I was like, I know. Yeah, I know. And then he was like, yo, I did Dead Presidents 3. And I was like, what? And Cole, I hope you ain't mad if I put this out there, which I'm sure you won't mind. But he was like, yeah, I did a Dead Presidents 3, and I produced the beat just like you did. I produced it, and then I did one long verse. And as musicians and artists and, you know, interviewees and all this stuff, sometimes we can do something and all the ingredients are there, but it just doesn't turn out the way we want it to. Like, we could put it out and fans will be like, oh my God, this is fucking amazing, da da da. But we know that it's just something about it that wasn't right. And he told me that. He was like, you know, it was something about it that just wasn't right. He was like, I loved it, but it just wasn't right. And after I played in mine, he looked at me and he was like, you did it. And I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a big inspiration, but he looks at me and he's like, yo, you're dope as shit. Keep doing it, keep killing it, you're dope. You know, and for him to say that, it meant a lot to me, because of course I'm inspired by Cole. You can hear it in my records. Just like you can hear Cannabis in Cole, and Tupac in Cole. And and then also speaking to Nas. Like meeting Nas, and this motherfucker's like, I bullshit you not, word for word. He was like, you're incredible. Never stop doing what you're doing. The people love you. And when he said that, like, motherfucker, you made Illmatic, right? And you're telling me never stop, like I'm doing it right. It's like, I don't give a shit who says what. If you telling me I'm doing it right, then damn, I'm gonna keep going.
Is this like a phone call, person?
No, this was face to face. I met him. First of all, Nas looks 25 years old. I don't know, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I met him. He wanted to meet me. He called my manager Chris, his people did, and Chris gets off the phone. He's like, yo, Nas wants to meet you. And I was like, what? And we were in New York, and then, you know, he was like, yeah, he's on some rooftop in Manhattan. And I was like, what the fuck? And then so, you know, we go all the way up on this rooftop, and it's where I met my security guard, Kenny, because Kenny does, you know, work with Nas and a lot of other really big hip-hop artists. And, but sure enough, there he was. He was doing something for ESPN on this, you know, on this rooftop, and I met him, and he was an incredibly humble, amazing person. Yeah, so shout out to Nas, and thank you for all your hospitality, man.
That's crazy.
How did you get John Witherspoon to skit? Oh, yeah. How did you pull that off? Pops. How do you get Pops on the skit? We talking about your mom.
Yo, mama.
You know,
That's a wild white woman.
blue eyes and everything. He ever going crazy. How did you pull that off, man? Without even laughing. You didn't even laugh on that skit. How did you pull that off?
That was real funny. Well, the funny thing is like, I don't want to kill the magic of it, but the way we do it, you know, we were at the studio together, so he did his thing, and then after then I went in, so we did it separately. Because honestly, like I was there and we were fucking dying laughing.
How did you not laugh?
Yeah, so it would have been impossible, but it was just cool because, you know, I wrote the skit, and I had that skit in my mind for a really, really long time. And my A&R at Def Jam, Noah Preston, who's a very good friend of mine, you know, he's very awesome. He grew up with John, because John was the father to his homie, Noah's homie. So he just always knew him, you know. And then one day he was like, "You want Pops on a skit?" And I was like, "Fuck you, me." You know what I'm saying? And so I met him, and he was he's a gentleman. He's a very nice guy. He's exactly like he is in the movies, except very toned down. He's not that, you know, like he's not, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so it was very awesome to meet him, and I thought that was like the perfect skit to kind of just make fun of my race, you know, and just have him do it. So yeah, it was cool.
I mean, you consider yourself. It sounds to me like you're a student of the game. Would you really say that?
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm learning every day. Yeah.
Yeah, so old and new, because it sounds like, you know, when you were talking about earlier, like your the comments that you receive about, you know, you sound like Cole, Drake, and all the other stuff like that. But it sounds like those are still like, you still have like modern day influences to your music.
A lot of people like to hide in front. Like, look at every other genre in the world. People do covers of other people's music. People recite people's lyrics. They do all these things. The thing about me is, I will never ever bullshit, steal, or take somebody else's shit and act like it's mine. So it's like, if I'm gonna quote Kanye, if I'm gonna quote Cole, if I'm gonna quote Kid Cudi, like, I'm obviously not trying to hide the shit like I stole it. You know what I'm saying? I love all music, and I'm gonna incorporate all music. And I'm not here to say, I don't sound like this person, I don't sound like that person. I do sound like Logic. I am me. It is my story. It is my flow. But in there, it is a pot of M and Tribe and Cole and Drake and all these things. Like, Drake is the first person to be in his lane of singing and having that melodic sound and also still have lyrics. I don't care what you say. You know Drake does have lyrics. You know what I'm saying? And still stay true to himself and real to himself. Because, yeah, there's some people out there who be like, yeah, you know, Drake's dope and all, I just don't like when he be singing. Well, you know what? All them girls who buy his album do. And that's why he does it. And with me, I think I got a lot of those comparisons at first just because there was nobody that could do that lane and do it that damn good. You know, and that's, I mean that in the most humble way. And this is just me finding myself, and myself is a mixture of all music and all sounds. I administer sinister verses. Ain't no father to my style, bitch, I birthed this. The menace like Dennis from Maryland to Venice. Know the premise like a chemist in a lab. My shit is complex and y'all the tenants. Hey yo, whose arm is this? I guess Slim cut it off at the pharmacist. We murdering MCs then flee to wherever the Bahamas is. I blew up, so that should let y'all know just who the bombers is. Cause I can see the future like my glasses Nostradamus. Damn, these rappers and they feelings like an orthodontist. It's probably cause my skin is white. Come on, be more than honest. I signed a deal with Def Jam cause I'm the man. These motherfuckers is sorters and kindas. Yeah, my city behind us. I know that you see that I'm murdering synonyms all up in them when I rhyme this. My flow is impeccable, hella unwreckable, no ain't nobody else on this. Yeah, my city behind us. I know that you see that I'm murdering synonyms all up in them when I rhyme this. My flow is impeccable, hella unwreckable, no ain't nobody else on this. Now let me slow it down so you ignorant people hear me. Even my favorite MCs won't get near me because they fear me, revere me. No disrespect, I mean that shit sincerely. I am merely the second renaissance to the fullest. It's all love from up above. Keep a gat in the glove just in case. Introduce you to Christ like Mace. It's like, nah. All of y'all know that Logic keep the peace, but my brothers keep a peace in the streets. You gotta capiche? See, that's a life I never wanted, but I grew up in and did a lot of dumb shit I'll never do again.